Hello, everyone. I am Chinwe Lemoha from Team Adroit, the nutritional team. And I'm here with my teammates who are Abiola Akinwole, Akinyemi Showumi, and James Adeyemo. Our business idea is a solution to malnutrition. What would you have done differently if you were in our shoes? We were on a trip to an affected community in Nigeria, where we met some of the malnourished people. We conducted a research and found out that the affected people had access to 1 meal per day. However, the meal lacked sufficient nutrients to sustain their bodies. Although the nutritional level has improved in the last few years by 7%, according to a UNICEF report, we still have a significant number of underserved people who still look like this. If you could help them, wouldn't you do so? Malnutrition is more than the lack of food. It is an absence of vital nutrients. This absence causes low immunity to illnesses. And especially tragic is a malnourished person's ability to reach his potentials, because the lack of nutrients permanently impairs a person's ability to think and learn, which limits their opportunities and hope for the future. Currently, there is a prevalence rate of 55.1 million adults who are nutrient deficient, and 32% of children, 32% of under 5 children that are nutrient deficient in Nigeria. Our solution is through our integrated distribution of algae protein, also known as the IDAP technique. This involves the cultivation, biofortification of crops, and distribution of spirulina across the food value chain. We chose spirulina because it is recognized as the world's superfood with over 35% more protein than other common sources of protein, and it is easily digestible in the bodies of the affected community members. It serves as a biofortifying agent for crops, which increases farmers' yields by 25%, and serves as a purifying agent for water, which makes clean and accessible water available to the underserved communities. We also chose spirulina because at the end of the day, the price is low to the end users. Here is a product illustration of our solution, from the cultivation and harvesting process to the drying process, the grinding process, the packaging and distribution of spirulina. So here is our comparative analysis. Our comparative analysis covers the GNLMG. These are famous people that are already engaged in this space. They are majorly importers, global distributors of health supplements. And for GNLD, their current price is $50 per 50 gram. Edmark has its own, and it uses the multi-level marketing distribution channel. Our strengths: we have relationship with key strategic partners, and we have favorable climatic conditions in Nigeria. We have low setup costs to start up this business, and our business was founded on detailed research work. And I feel this is our major strength, because we are not just doing guesswork. We are not just coming out with what we think works. We have conducted serious, intensive research to come up with this solution. And then we are a cost leader in Nigeria in this space. And we are using the backward integration approach, which allows us to work with rural community dwellers, thereby reducing our costs, because we are not importing from outside the country. Our weaknesses: we have low financial strength to mass produce and dominate the market in the shortest time possible. And then we also do not have an expert team member we don't have an expert team member with knowledge of biology. Our opportunities: our business is an early mover advantage. We have early mover advantage. And then there is the rising cost of protein in Nigeria currently, which has increased fertilizer for crops, feed, every form of agriculture by over 300% in the last 3 years. Then we have the global spirulina market growth, which is estimated at a 25% CAGR, that's compound annual growth rate in the next 3 years. And then there is the clamor for the need for more sustainable ways of doing business. Then our threats: the business has low barrier to entry, and the poor food distribution network, then non-compliance of farmers to our contract. Our target market: we have identified 3 major three major groups as our target market. We have the agile farmers, which comprise of the feed manufacturers and the livestock farmers. Now, the agile farmers are between the ages of 19 to 50 in Nigeria. And we also found out that 70% of households in Nigeria practice farming, with about 41% practicing livestock, which includes rearing cattle, chicken, fish, all of these things, 41%. And then these people also desire multiple streams of income, and they need growth mechanisms for farming activities. Then we have the innovative pharmaceuticals and nutraceutical companies. These people are constantly researching innovative practices, innovative ways of doing businesses, of carrying out the operations in order to meet the demand in Nigeria. Then we have 115 registered pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria at the moment, and we hope we will partner with these people to sell spirulina for them to produce more to meet our target.
I think, Peter, you might be, oh, there we go, okay.
Then there is also, these companies also desire to stand out in the industry. Then we have the health conscious individuals. These people advocate for environmental security. They currently use environmental friendly items for their daily uses. And then this product, we will sell it to them for them to continue to enhance and sell the product. The current size of this market, we have the total addressable market of 180 million currently. We calculated this in dollars because this is the total. We estimated that we have 30 million people in Nigeria, the youth population in Nigeria from 18 to 35 years. We have 30 million people, and they are able to pay 3,000 naira per annum on their health, and that's how we estimated our 180 million. We have our serviceable addressable market of 18 million, 10% of the total addressable market, and the serviceable obtainable market of 3% of the 18 million.
Let's talk strategies. The first key strategy we developed is around the pricing of our products. We use the cost plus pricing model as our base pricing technique. This will ensure we keep price low as our product constitutes input in the food production value chain. In addition, it enables us to keep our competitive edge as local producers. We are able to sell cheaper than our competitors who are basically importers. Our marketing strategy. We realize that the awareness of our product is low. To this end, we will rely on 4 basic channels.
Oh, we lost one of your mics, sorry.
We realize the awareness of our product is low. To this end, we would rely on 4 basic channels to boost awareness of the product. The first, word of mouth. This works well with local farmers who depend on referrals from their colleagues. The second, radio jingles. This also helps us to target farmers because they rely majorly on local radio channels for information. The third, television adverts to supplement our radio jingles through optical simulation of the pharmaceuticals and health-conscious individuals. And lastly, social media platforms to reach out to our health-conscious consumers. The combination of these 4 modes will ensure we reach all segments of our target market. We would also adopt promotional campaigns to push the sale of our products and further increase awareness. We would combine farmers campaign, sponsored health events, and training programs. For distribution, we would adopt multiple level marketing, create wholesale and retail channels, and leverage e-commerce platforms to distribute our products. Our SDGs are 1, no poverty. Our work will provide sustainable jobs for the community dwellers to substantially reduce the proportion of youth not gainfully employed. 2, good education. The introduction of the algae into our water bodies would also help. Whoa, no network. What?
We lost you for a second. If you could back up maybe at the start of the slide, that would be fine. Is that okay?
Hello?
Hi,
We can hear you.
Clean water and sanitation. The introduction The introduction of the algae into our water bodies would also help improve water quality, which would positively impact the lives of our farming communities. In addition, for every 1 kg of spirulina produced, 1.8 kg of carbon dioxide is extracted from the atmosphere, leaving our farming communities less polluted.
To kickstart this project, we need $15,000 as setup cost. And this is going into the acquisition of the necessary assets, recruitment and training. Total cost of production is $1.06 per kilogram of the spirulina, and we'll be selling at $3. We project to produce and sell 120,000 kilograms in the first year, 200,000 kilograms in the second year, and 300,000 kilograms in the third year, with a total revenue of $306,000, $600,000, and $900,000 in the first year, in the first, second, and third year, respectively. This will give an average return on investment of 82%. And for our timeline, we project that in the next, between now and the next 1 or 2 months, we would have sought out our registration and documentation with NAFDAC and so on. And then for the first year, we intend to produce 500, like I said, 120,000 kilograms, and that will give us that. Our harvest is guaranteed because we are going to look for farmers who live in riverine areas already without having to spend an extensive amount on any irrigation system. Join us as we transform lives and make money for making a difference by addressing acute malnutrition. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Team Adroit, and do not worry about tech issues. We have had them constantly. It is not a problem at all, and it will not take any points against you. At this time, if you would like to stop sharing, and we can invite some of our judges to ask some questions. Austin, I see you. I don't know if you had any questions. I see your camera is on.
Yeah, I sometimes I'm just wondering whether it's a concept, you know, or have you actually planted some of this algae? Is there any community you've worked with? Is there any testimonial? Has anybody said, well, this helped me? Or is it a concept you are planning to launch?
So can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is not just a concept. This project is based on intensive research that we have carried out. We worked with a community in Delta State, and that was where we got the findings of our reports that we are giving today. We had testimonials from them. We worked with rural farmers in Delta State. Some of the farmers came from Adroit State to Benin City, and then we got testimonials from them. We recorded progress, recorded growth in their crop activities, in their farming activities. And some of the people that were malnourished in Delta State, they also recorded growth. We saw improvement. That's where we found out that spirulina was easily digestible in their bodies. So it's not something that when they take, because currently malnourished people don't just, you can't just bring a malnourished person and give him normal regular food to eat. He has to go through oral supplements for him to for it to stabilize his body. So we tried it with spirulina, and then we got the results we're looking for.
So do you have maybe a website where you have recorded some of these things? Yesterday, we had a group that had a website where people were using the products, and they were do you have a website, maybe Facebook, maybe LinkedIn, where we go and we see the before and after effects, or the testimonial, or it's just we take your word for it?
Currently, we do not have a website.
Okay.
Narati, I see your hand is raised.
Yes, I just wanted to add to what my colleague said. This algae, is it for farmers? Is it going to be a model to grow algae for farmers, you know, as fertilizer, or is it just going to be supplements? You know, so okay. I'm trying to show which one you're doing. Is it for supplement? I'm sorry? Is it one and same?
Yes, so if I may add to that, spirulina actually has vast nutritional applications. That is, it stands as a major nourishing ingredient for feed and fertilizer to actually
Oh,
boost
great.
nutritional value in crop and animal yield. Then also for it also serves as supplement also to actually nourish the nutritional intake of consumption. That's for people or for human beings basically. So it serves two purposes in terms of feed and fertilizer and in terms of human consumption as well.
Oh, great. Well done. Great presentation.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Just to add to what Abiola said, my colleague said, so the spirulina works as we have different products that we are selling out. We are selling it as a fertilizer, as powder to mix. We are selling it as fertilizer for crops, and then there's also the biofortification process where we'll biofortify seeds that we'll plant, which will grow with the spirulina in it. So we have different target audience with different products.
Has this been tested with farmers already?
Yes, like we answered Dr. Austin's question. Yes, we've worked with farmers in Delta State in particular, and that's where we got the findings of this report.
Okay, and what sort of crops was grown with spirulina?
We worked with maize, we worked with soy, that's soybeans, then we worked with beans itself.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nurati. Darius, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, thank you. So your problem statement was malnutrition, 32% of children under the age of 5 are malnourished. I'm still confused to understand, struggling to understand how you're directly addressing that problem. You outlined 3 market segments: pharma companies, farmers, and health conscious consumers. None of those 3 are, well, maybe I guess the children of farmers, but I don't understand the link between those 3 very different market segments and the actual problem you're trying to solve.
All right. So if I may answer that, we noticed from our research that about 80 to 90% of smallholder farmers actually live in underserved communities or rural communities where most of these malnourished children are actually found, or where you actually find most of these malnourished children. So in that case, our target market with regards to reaching out to smallholder farmers is also for them to use spirulina within their communities, not just to boost feed and fertilizers, but also to boost the nutritional intake of their surrounding communities in terms of whatever food they majorly eat in that community, because they will be planting it within that community. And with the use of spirulina, it's also now going to increase the nutritional intake of even the malnourished children within those communities. So we are targeting smallholder farmers living in rural communities or underserved communities where most of these malnourished children are found.
Thank you, team. And Yaden, you said that was your question, so we answered that twice. Nireti, your hand is raised again.
Yes, I'm just thinking that it looks like they're doing too many things at a time. I think I would like that, the focus on something. The focus should be on one rather than having multiple products. So it got me confused initially, which was why I was asking which one serves one, or is it just the algae that serves as fertilizer, or is it a supplement? And that was the same thing that Darius was also asking. So again, it's a bit confusing to know which one exactly are you doing. So if you were doing one in particular, we would not be confused, and it would just be like, okay, you have a typical example for one, and then you can show a process flow for what you have done. So that way we're not left confused as to whether it's fertilizer or whether it's a supplement, and that, just my advice.
Yes, you're actually right in that regard. But one thing we noticed when we were doing our study was that because our primary target is focused at smallholder farmers, there also seems to be a vast application of spirulina also with regards to supplements. But our primary target is actually smallholder farmers for feed and for boosting the nutritional value of feed and fertilizers. But upon scale up to maybe other segments or other sectors, or based on partnership, we can also now push spirulina into other sectors such as the pharmaceutical companies, the neurotical companies, and a lot of other more, basically.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Philip, I see your hand is raised. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thanks, Maddie. I'm sorry about it. Anyway, thanks, Tim. Amazing presentation. I also watched your video that you sent earlier. Two things. I think the first thing is that the question would be, I think, how do you guarantee that smallholder farmers will take up your new product? Smallholder farmer are highly unpredictable. Are you thinking of contingencies around that? That's the first thing. The second advice, and I understand this, that you're looking at multiple approaches to this. Potentially, I think if you can rethink your model around a value chain approach. So if you think about food systems and then thinking through when you will roll this, because there are multiple applications to this, yes, whether it's smallholder incomes, whether it's nutrition, and ensuring that you are enhancing that piece both for the smallholder themselves as individuals who consume these products, but also for their families and for their constituencies. Potentially you can roll out sort of a holistic business plan that you kind of also engage other people. But I'm more interested in the resiliency piece. Is how will you ensure that smallholder farmers take up this product and change their practices?
Okay, to answer your question, sir. When we started the research, our first idea was to give it out as a supplement to the people. But giving it out as ordinary supplement to these people will not satisfy, was not going to meet our objective. So we tried out the biofortification, and that was where we got results. So basically what we are doing is we are taking the normal food that they have access to. If they have access to 1 plate of rice every day, we are fortifying that 1 plate of rice with food. Then the other part that we are addressing is that this spirulina doesn't just work as a biofortifying agent. It also serves as fertilizer to increase the farmer's yield, increasing the farmer's yield and still fortifying the increase for the small community holders. So around the contingencies, we already looked at these things. We carried out researches in Delta State, like we mentioned earlier. We went through several steps till we arrived at an affordable price. And when one of our presenters was speaking, he mentioned that we are using the cost plus pricing model. So that is, we have our cost of production, which is about which comes to 0.6 cents. Then we add our markup to it. So at the end of the day, what we are selling this product at. We're selling this product at $3 to the end user, and this is something that they can afford, because if you compare it to the original fertilizer that they are using, they're not getting the desired result that they want. So with the additional, with the spirulina, which comes at a reduced cost to them, they are getting better yields for their crops.
Yes, so sorry, just to buttress what my colleague has mentioned in regards to the first question also as well. Regards to spirulina, we're not all going to be competing with fertilizer manufacturers or anything, but we're bringing in spirulina as a nutritional add-on. So whatever feed or fertilizer that farmer is using at that point, he can just buy a $3 spirulina, put it as a nutritional add-on to whatever feed or fertilizer, and it gives him the same expected yield, even just with consuming just spirulina. So it comes in as a nutritional add-on to whatever the farmer is actually pushing with regards to either his manure or his fertilizer for his crops or his livestock. So it's more like a nutritional add-on that with this, the yield for your crops or your animals is guaranteed with this add-on. So that's what we're pushing spirulina as. And with regards to
what I am struggling with is that manure is for growing plants. Then animal supplements for chicken and is a different thing. And what human beings eat is very different. You cannot draw a straight line between manure and what human beings eat. Human beings don't eat fertilizer. So, and then the process of certification. You go to different bodies when you want to certify something for plants to help plants to grow. You go to a different totally path when you are giving something to animals to eat because it ends up in the human food chain. And when you're going to give things to human beings to eat, it's even more rigorous. I mean, COVID, with the whole world attention, took a year to develop a vaccine. You really need to determine whether you're going to do something to help plants to grow or giving something for animals to be more productively raised or human beings. But I find it difficult in my head to draw a straight line between manure, which is going to help plants to grow, what animals will eat, and what human beings will eat, and all of them are called spirulina. Somehow I'm not able to wrap my head around it.
So if I might come in there, when processing spirulina, the final product usually comes in as a powdered form. Now, using a powdered form, you can easily add that on, even to manure or even to a fertilizer without even without any change basically in the composition, because even based on our research, we found out that the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, that's NASA, actually gives spirulina to its astronauts based on the nutritional benefits, and this is done by fortifying, as they say, their food. Whatever they give them, they had a bit of spirulina into it because of increased bone density and all of that with regards to aeronautics and all of that. That's just for the human application. So if that can be done for humans, how much more for animals and plants, where we bring in the powder as an add-on to their manure or their fertilizers and the rest.
Thank you, team. And unfortunately, at this time, we are out of time, but I will be providing email introduction to our judges so that if you wish to communicate with some of our judges who have provided some of these comments and questions, you can do so. You did an amazing job, Team Adroit, and thank you so much for representing this competition as you have and representing your school. We are so thankful for all the work you have done. To our judges, the link for the last and final presentation for today is in the chat. Team Adroit, if you check your email later today, you will see your recording as well, along with that other email. So we really appreciate it. And I know that the judges did too. We will see all of our judges in the next one, and we will see all of you at the award ceremony. Thank you guys. Great job.